All right, this is page 4 in your binder. We're going to talk about the coordinate plane. This should all just be review. So the first thing is the definition of a coordinate plane. It is simply a plane that is divided into 4 regions used for graphing. So we're going to label all the parts. So this line right here is our x-axis. The up and down line is our y-axis. We have 4 quadrants. Quadrant 1 is right here. Everything in that quadrant is positive, like the coordinates are. We go counterclockwise. Quadrant 2, the x's are negative, but the y's are positive. Quadrant 3 is negative, negative, and quadrant 4 is positive, negative. The other thing is this center point right here. That is 0, 0, and we call that the origin. An ordered pair are just points on a graph. And when we're listing ordered pair, we always list the x first and then the y. That means we always go side to side first and then up or down. Okay? Point B is right here in quadrant 4. So it's going to have a positive for my first number, and the second number will be negative. So 1, 2, I went positive 2, and then I'm going down 1, 2, 3, negative 3. C is right here on this line, so it is not in a quadrant. It is on the y-axis. So I don't go over any. So I go over 0, and then I just go up 2. So anything on the y-axis is going to be 0 and then its number. For D, right here, it's in the first quadrant, so everything is positive. So I'm going to go over from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, positive 7, up 1. E is way over here in quadrant 3, and in quadrant 3, both of the numbers are going to be negative. So I'm going to go to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, so negative 4. Then I got to go down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 6. And then F is right here on the line. So it's actually on the x-axis, it's not in a quadrant. And then I start by going over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 5, and then I don't go up or down any, so it's a 0. We have 2 different kinds of graphs. We have a discrete graph and a continuous graph. The graph we just dealt with is a discrete graph. A discrete graph is a graph with distinct points. So if I have my coordinate plane right here, and then just like the one above, I've got points. This is a discrete graph because it has points on it. Okay? A continuous graph is a graph with connected lines and curves. So it could look like a lot of different ways as long as it's got a line. So that would be a continuous graph because it has a line. Or I could have one that does that. That's a continuous graph. Okay, flip over to the next page. On this page, we're going to talk about relations. So all relations are a set of ordered pair. A set of ordered pairs. And in a relation, the x value we always call the domain, and the y value we always call the range. There are 4 different ways that we can show relations: ordered pairs, tables, mapping, and graphs. And each one kind of has its own little set of rules. The easiest one is the table. I just take this, -3, 1, -2, 0, 1, 2, 3, -4, -3, 5. So that's simple, self-explanatory. All right. Then when I want the domain, right here is asking for the domain. So I'm just going to take what's in this box and write it right there. You do not repeat a number. So like this -3, it won't get repeated. And it needs to be in numerical order. So -3, -2, 1, and 3. Sorry. The range, it's going to be our y value. Going to be our y values. So it'll be these. These are not written in order in this activity, so I'm going to have to write them in order. So -4 comes first. Then would come 0, 1, 2, and then 5. Okay. When we map, the first circle is always going to be our domain, and the second circle is always going to be our range. We list the numbers in order, so I'm going to take this information right here from the first box, -3, -2, 1, and 3. Then I'm going to take this information right here from the second box, -4, 0, 1, 2, and 5. Now, to do the map correctly, now I match it up with this partner. -1 is the input, its output is a 1. So you draw a line with the nearer to 1. -2, his output is 0. 1 pairs with 2. 3 goes up here to -4. And -3, it has 2 coming off, and that's okay in a relation. All right. And then the last ways to represent is to graph. Plus, oops. Minus, plus, minus, minus, and plus, minus. All right. So the first one is, gotta make it bigger so I can draw because it's hard for me. The first number is the -3, and it's going to the 1. So 1, 2, 3, up to 1. We'll put a dot right there. Okay, the second one is -2 to 0. So that means I'm gonna go over 2, and I don't go up or down any, so that one just goes right there. 1 to 2, so right 1, up 2, over 1, up 2. Sorry. 3 to -4, so 1, 2, 3, and then -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the last one is -3 to 5, so 1, 2, 3. Am I doing that right? I can't see that side of the paper. Yeah, to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so I've graphed them. So now what I need you to do is you will do number 2, just like we did number 1, and you'll also do number 3. When you do number 3, it starts with the points, so you're going to have to figure out the dimensions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's a -5. 1, 2, 3, 4. -4. So -5, -4 is my first point. So I'll just go ahead and give that one to you. Okay, the rest of them you're going to have to figure out and fill in the rest of this page. Thank you.